The Galaxy S24 Ultra was launched in the end of January. When we got one at the office, we took it through all our tests and benchmarks, finished up our review, and as soon as we were done, I was like, yoink! It's been almost 4 months now. Time truly passes when you're having fun. And I'm still using it and quite enjoying it. Here's everything I like about it. I don't care that it's made of titanium, but I love the shape. Apple launched the titanium-clad iPhone 15 Pro in September last year, but Samsung was all like, oh, me too! Thanks to a very thorough teardown by Jerry Rig Everything, we already know that Samsung uses lower-grade titanium and less of it in the S24 Ultra, but really, I don't care. It's just like a coating, like a finish on top of an aluminum frame. I do like how the phone feels. The matte is kind of porous and feels grippy. It is slightly flattened on the sides to enhance that feel. It is kind of heavy, but it's also very well balanced, so I personally do not have an issue with it. I am contrasting this to the Galaxy S22 Ultra, which was designed the very same way as the Galaxy S20 Ultra a couple of years before it. This slippery matte glass back, this rounded frame and the super curved screen gave you very little to actually hold on to, without accidental touches or, drops. This flat thing, I've almost dropped it a couple of times by now, but thanks to the fact that it's so grippy, they were close calls. The screen on the front is still very shockingly bright, thanks to the Gorilla Armor glass, which has some kind of special anti-reflective coating. When you are out in daylight, it really takes you aback how clear the image of the screen is. And after months of use, I still love that. There were some color saturation issues with it on launch. If you were using the eye comfort and the adaptive color settings, Samsung acknowledged that and said that it would be fixed with an update, and now it's fixed. The colors don't look drab or desaturated, and I have both of these settings on. And while on the topic of the display, the underscreen fingerprint reader is extremely fast. It only requires a tap to read your finger, no need to hold it even. And it works even if you have smudgy or damp fingers, though admittedly in those situations you do need to press for a bit longer. The speakers are somewhat of a letdown. Now, they're well above the average smartphone speaker, but not quite the best. They have a respectable amount of bass, surprising considering the phone is just a thin flat slab, but some mush in the mids and some harsh higher mids to the treble range. Is it better or worse than the iPhone 15 Pro Max? Well, depending on what you're listening to, the iPhone does tend to be a bit more scooped sounding with a V-shaped EQ, but it delivers the perception of nice deep bass and sparkly presence. The Galaxy S24 Ultra is a bit more mid-focused, so if it's guitar-heavy music or maybe heavy focus on the vocals, it can sound better, but it's not like a Bluetooth speaker, and it's nowhere near the ROG Phone 8 or the excellent ROG Phone 7, rest in parts, best gaming phone ever. My bigger issue is with the EQ here. Now, I am a big audio tinkerer, but I find this next to useless. See, it doesn't really boost frequencies. When you dial one up, it will lower all of the other ones around it. Or maybe it just sounds like that, but there's some very weird compression going on. So my advice to Samsung owners, if you want to use the Samsung EQ, don't use it for boosting, just use it to scoop some of the more troubling frequencies. Or if you're using earbuds, use the earbuds dedicated software if it has an EQ. Do not use the phone's stock EQ. But let's get rid of Debbie Downer here and talk about performance. By the way, drop a like and a sub, otherwise she will be back and she will bring the whole Downer family with her. Since I've had this in my pocket, it has always been running on the light performance profile. I just flipped it on to see if I will see any drop in speed. And I didn't, so I just left it on to reap any possible benefits to battery life or thermals. Browsing, chatting, editing quick videos, making thumbnails, taking notes. I like working with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It is snappy and it has a feature set which makes it easy and fun. I'm sorry, I don't game on it too much. I'm not a touchscreen type gamer unless it has extra buttons like on an ROG phone. But I do try to from time to time. Most recently I downloaded the Arena Breakout and it's running extremely smoothly at high settings. The battery life is not amazing. Now the Galaxy S24 Ultra can still take me through a day without me rushing towards a power outlet, but I find myself hitting the below 20% levels more often than I did with the ROG phone or the iPhone before that. The charging speeds are also not super fast and I can feel it, but in general I can see how a power user can feel a bit limited by the battery performance here. Galaxy AI is here and it's mostly a buzzword. I made a video about all of the Galaxy AI features, should be linked up here, but the bottom line is the article summary and the voice recorder transcript are pretty useful features. The rest of them are not even great party tricks. Let's talk about the camera now. It is mostly great. We graded it very high on our official review and it did pass our benchmarks with flying colors. However, when using it over and over, and I even took this to the MWC Super Conference, you know, with the flashing lights and the obscure colors, I did catch it slip a few times, especially the HDR. But in my day-to-day life, I still feel fully confident capturing memorabilia with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I end up with good photos with almost every shutter press. I even use the S24 Ultra as a basis of comparison when I'm looking at another phone camera's output. I've come to find it very reliable and predictable. And as mentioned, I feel completely comfortable and happy using it for my side projects. At the end of the day, it's a fantastic phone, made even better by the fact that Samsung now promises 7 years of software updates for this. So yeah, it is expensive, but at least we're not living in times where you're expected to upgrade it after 2 years. I feel comfortable recommending this one, and I don't feel pressured to change anytime soon. So that about does it. Bye!